Wake up. It's the Flow Show, no filter. We got to get updated on Diddy. The trial is set to begin today. Lot to talk about, lot going on. The defense is trying to get evidence removed. The prosecution is trying to make sure certain evidence doesn't get talked about. We're going to talk about both of those things on this Taco Tuesday. But first, let me cover my ass. No Diddy. The thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show No Filter are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Happy Taco Tuesdays. You know I'm gonna give me some tacos today. What is going on with everybody in the building? I see Angie. I see Bo. See Tuck. Megan, what's up? Good to see everybody. Drew Rob this morning. Lot going on. This is a big week in the Diddy trial. This is the follow-up to Hell Week. Meaning it's about to be more hell. And last week was even more. What's up, Monique? Last week was even worse than I thought it would be, despite all the spin that TMZ and the rest of them trying to do. But like I said, we're gonna get right into it. I am over here tripping because if you want to know if some evidence is damning, forget what you're hearing about on all these different blogs and different stations, different TV stations, different people saying different things. Forget about all of that. Because if you want to know if some evidence is damaging, all you got to do is look at what the hell the defense is trying to get thrown out. They're not going to try to get out. They're not going to waste time and emotions on evidence that don't mean anything. And the reason why I brought that up is because the defense, as y'all should know, is trying to get the Kid Cudi evidence thrown out, which is lets you know it's damning evidence, but they say they don't want it. They want it thrown out for lack of evidence. And this is crazy because y'all realize they're still calling people to testify. They're still in the middle of developing this whole Kid Cudi incident. But y'all know I read through the tea leaves. That thirsty ass motion to get it thrown out. Do y'all understand why? They want to get it thrown out before Capricorn Clark's takes the stand today. Because they know she about to bring the fucking roof down. Good morning, Toby. Good morning, Rachel. So it's another desperation attempt. And I say again, does this sound like something that don't have any evidence? They trying to get stuff thrown out left and right. And another thing I told you, they have pissed the judge off with all these frivolous motions. You getting one of the main parts in the indictment. They have evidence before they even had people taking a stand. They had hella evidence just from the indictment. And I told you, nobody likes busy work. And for the defense to file a motion to have Kid Cudi's whole situation thrown out, having Kid Cudi's whole testimony thrown out, just shows they're scared and shaking in their boots. The man had his car blown up. Cassie told him Diddy was going to blow his car up. Capricorn Clark, who worked for Diddy, called him, said Diddy's around your house. But they want Kid Cudi's testimony about his car being blown up, thrown out. Ridiculous. Also, today we're gonna talk about Jordan, Diddy's former chef. She is set to take the stand this week. I don't know if it'll be today because she was supposed to take the stand last week, but I guess they ran over. And we're gonna talk a little bit about Jordan. As a matter of fact, we've been beating this Kid Cudi stuff to death. Just to switch it up a little bit, I'm gonna come back to the Kid Cudi, and let's go to Jordan, the chef, because we haven't talked about her at all, and I have to let everybody know what's going on. What's going on with her? Yeah, we'll come back. Yanni says, "Great point, Flo. The defense knows this group." Yeah, they're trying desperately to throw that out because this is going to be damaging, and if they could get Kid Cudi's whole testimony thrown out, that would help them in muddying the waters per se. With when we're talking about the whole Kid Cudi getting blown up incident, but we'll come back to that because I want to start with something new that y'all haven't heard about. Diddy put his hands on the chef, and the chef, Jordan, her name is Jordan. She is set to testify. But I got an article that I want to go over with y'all that details what the chef, some of the things she went through. Who knows what she's going to say on the stand? Because as we all know, a lot of people lived in fear of Diddy and may not even spoke out to everything that was going on. But now, now that Diddy's behind bars, and when you get on that stand, it's like a moment for you to say things you wanted to say before, or tell and expose truths that you may have been afraid to tell. So I'm taking this article from HNHH. I'm not sure which one that is, but it's written by Caroline Fisher. The title of the article is "Diddy Once Shoved Female Personal Chef Out of His Home, Ex-Bodyguard Alleges." So the bodyguard told this story and basically said, I'm going to get into the article, but basically said Diddy threw her out like, you remember you used to watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? And he would, the dad would throw Jazzy Jeff, which is Fresh Prince's boy, he would throw him out the front door every time he acted up or said something stupid. It was like, boom, and you just hear him crash. Like literally, I heard this story before, and they said he literally threw her out like that. So let's get into this. Allegedly, Diddy has a rocky history with chefs. The article starts off. Diddy has faced no shortage of allegations in recent months from former partners, peers, and employees. Many of the accusations made against him suggest an alleged pattern of violence towards women. His former partner, Cassie, sued him in November of last year, and they settled. She accused him of sexual assault, abuse, and more. Footage corroborating some of her allegations went public last month and quickly went viral. We all know that's the Cassie situation with the hotel, and we're past all that. So let's continue. Amid the Bad Boys Records founders' legal issues, social media users have been digging into his past and seeking clarity for those who have been a part of his close circle. His ex-bodyguard, Roger Bonds, who, by the way, I haven't heard anything about Roger Bonds testifying. But if he does, look out. He knows everything almost. I've watched Roger Bonds. He has about a 2-hour interview. I think he did, with Vlad. About 2 hours and 20 minutes. And he tells so many stories about what Diddy did. It'll make your jaw drop. So Continuing, this is something Roger Bond said. He was security with Diddy for a long time. For example, he has a lot to say about the time he was working with him. During a recent interview with Vlad TV, Bonds claimed that Diddy's alleged violence isn't limited to his partners. He goes on to say, Diddy once had a personal chef named Jordan. Jordan worked for Diddy for about 3 years altogether. And at one point, he says that Jordan was supposed to let some housekeepers in Diddy's home, but she didn't. He claims that she had forgotten and got confused because the people who showed up weren't their usual staff. So she's supposed to let some housekeepers in. But when the people show up, they're not the housekeepers that they normally use. You know, she's there. I imagine she was by herself. And she didn't want to let in strangers. Can you blame her? I mean, you working for somebody like Diddy, random people show up at the door. You don't just want to be opening up and letting everybody in. And this next thing you know, your ass getting kidnapped and robbed or whatever. So I can't blame her. Who wouldn't be better safe than sorry? If you show up at my door and I didn't expect you, and I'm expecting a whole nother person that does your same job, I'm not opening the door. Period. And I'm going back in my room and watch TV while you sit outside. So I don't blame her on that. So she got confused because it wasn't the usual staff. And on top of that, she was trying to keep the children of the house out of harm's way. There were children there. This is a normal. You don't know who it is, you don't open the door. I mean, who would have a problem with that? Mohawk Diddy will have a problem with it. Shortly after, she was asked to make a nanny coffee, but insisted that she didn't know how. Bond says this is when Diddy allegedly went off. He accused him of pushing her back by her forehead and shoving her out of the door. Working for Diddy is some shit, ain't it? But he never puts his hands on Roger Bonds. He never put his hands on Gene Deal. He never put his hands on anybody that can put their hands back on him and meet his force and then add some force to it. I've noticed that. It's always some meek female that he has no business touching. But anyway, this is when Diddy went off. Pushed her back on her forehead and threw her out of the door. Allegedly, he actually tossed her to the ground. Now, you're just supposed to be cooking food for Diddy. He got you letting in housekeepers and shit. You're just supposed to be cooking food. And next thing you know, he's throwing your ass out the front door. Roger Bonds goes on to add that Jordan reached out to him as the other accusations Diddy are facing were making their rounds. She said that all those accusations just brought back more trauma about her alleged assault. Not to mention how embarrassing that was, I'm sure. You know, Diddy is, like I said, you can't give everybody no damn mohawk, man. What do you think of Diddy's ex-bodyguard accusing him of pushing the chef? Well, I mean, like, can you imagine what she's going to say on the stand today? This is Roger Bonds telling what happened to her. This isn't her telling it. Her telling it is going to be 100 times worse, I'm sure. Like, you know, I'm sure she's going to be emotional. And I'm sure she has more things to add that maybe Roger Bonds either didn't want to share, wasn't comfortable with sharing, or just didn't know about. But rest assured, she's going to get on that stand. And like I said, it could be today, but from what I'm hearing, it will be this week for sure. So looking forward to hearing her testimony. And you know who else we're hearing from? We'll also be hearing from the law enforcement guy who showed up on the scene for the Cudi stuff. So look out for Jordan, the chef who was thrown out the front door, amongst who knows what else happened to her at her time working with the Mohawkster or working for the Mohawkster. Who knows what she went through. I feel bad for all of those employees, to be honest. You working with a literal monster who putting his hands on every female in all kind of stupid ways. And not only that, he threatening to fire you every 5 minutes. I don't understand why would somebody even work. Why would you even work for him? I wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes with Diddy. The first time, I didn't even like the tone of his voice. I would have told him to kick rocks. But this law enforcement, just like Diddy's defense team, the prosecution has also filed a motion regarding the investigator Lance Jimenez. That's who pulled up on the scene to check on the blown up car. And the prosecution wants to make sure that the defense isn't asking him things that he knows nothing about. What are some of those things? Yeah, 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. Probably 2 minutes. I would have lasted with Diddy, no Diddy. Diddy, no Diddy, itty bitty Diddy, whatever you want to call him, Mohawk Diddy, the Diddler, or just an asshole. And even the word asshole sound nasty when you talking about Diddy. Diddy has went from the industry's darling to the industry's devil overnight. It seems as though. So, what does the prosecution not want Lance to talk about? They filed a motion saying that they request that the defense is not able to ask this law enforcement guy that showed up at the LA home when when Kid Cudi's car was blown up. But he was not the one who collected the DNA evidence, or he's not an expert on DNA evidence. And they know that the defense is so thirsty to say that there's a woman's DNA at the scene. So their request, the prosecution filed a motion. I'm gonna read a little bit of it. This motion is long, so and I don't want to read the whole thing. It's too long, but they're gonna call this guy, but they don't want the defense to bring up the fact that the DNA evidence was collected or whatever. And then another thing, why are we talking about that? The fact that there's woman DNA at the scene means absolutely nothing when you're talking about a RICO case. All of a sudden, when we get to Diddy's case, all of a sudden, all these experts don't know what the fuck RICO is. RICO is in place because people like Diddy don't get their hands dirty. That's the whole fucking point of RICO. So when everybody's jumping up and down and talking about, yeah, there's no evidence, they should throw it out, and there's no evidence that Diddy had anything to do with the blowing up, I just have to count to 10. I had to take a deep breath, gather myself, stay poised, and say, do you fuckers know what the hell RICO is? RICO charges is exactly for the people who don't get their hands dirty. And you don't need no hardcore evidence of conspiracy RICO. I'm tired of saying that over and over again, but they keep saying this dumb shit over and over again. Conspiracy charges in general are about people coming together and conspiring to do shit. That's all the evidence you need. What do you think the word conspiracy means? These dumbasses act like you're supposed to have footage of Diddy and his comrades pulling up on the scene and ring camera footage of them blowing up Cudi's car. That's the type of evidence they're looking for. That's not conspiracy. Conspiracy is 2 or 3 of your employees talking and snitching on you and saying, hey, telling the court, this guy made me do this. This guy made me kidnap this person. This guy put out a plan for us to blow up the car. This guy bought the materials. This guy sent us the. That's enough. That's enough evidence for conspiracy. Just like, for example, you have a murder charge where most of the time you pulled the trigger or you did the stabbing or whatever the hell method you did. But then you also have conspiracy to commit murder, which is just as fucking bad. Follow me. Now, conspiracy to commit murder, you don't need to be seen or have no evidence, hardcore evidence of you doing nothing. But if person A and person B, let's say the conspiracy to murder charge is on person C. If person A and person B both get on the stand and they were a part of this whole thing, and they get on the stand and say person C put the order out, then guess what? Person C is looking at a fucking conspiracy charge. Now, did I say person C was caught on camera buying the supplies or caught on audio saying this? No. Because the government and the system that we have in place understand that if you have enough money and power, you can wreak havoc on this fucking world and not bat an eye. So as this case moves forward, they got the Capricorn Clark is set to testify about the car being blown up. The law enforcement guy, Jimenez, is set to come on and explain what he saw, what he think happened. I don't know what he's going to talk about. It's his testimony. We'll see what he says. But it's an awful lot of people testifying about Cudi's car to try to throw out the actual man who actually had his car blown up. You want to throw his testimony out. Tell me you're desperate without telling me you're desperate. Mohawk Diddy. That's why I call him Mohawk Diddy. He just do crazy shit. He is a Mohawk in human form. I don't know why would you give a Mohawk to a Mohawk. So we got the chef coming up. She's been shoved out the door. Who knows what else she's going to say. But now we got to talk about, let's go back to what we originally were about to talk about. We'll get into some more about what the New York Post is saying about Capricorn Clark's, what she's expected to reveal. But let's see what the hell this defense talking about, getting Kid Cudi's testimony thrown out. after he flew all the way there and he sunk their ass. That's how you know. I don't care. You can listen to all the people saying, oh, this don't mean nothing, that don't mean nothing, while they trying to spin it. Well, if Cudi's testimony, if Brian Steele did so well against Cudi's testimony, like the fucking Diddy supporters, all the little Mohawk Diddies out there, even Harvey Levin from TMZ, he's a little Mohawk Diddy now. If Brian Steele did so well, why the fuck would they want to remove his testimony? Y'all tell me that. Why would you, and especially when y'all haven't done too well on too many cross-examinations, why would you want to remove this one if you did so well? Why would you want to remove this if there's no evidence? It would be a good look for the defense. If Cudi provided nothing and Brian Steele did such an outstanding job on the cross-examination, he did such a great job that y'all want the whole testimony thrown out on one of the major parts of the indictment. See, you can't sell ice to me and I'm an Eskimo. I'm an Eskimo in Alaska. You can't sell me heat when I'm in the sauna already. I'm in the sauna already. I don't want to buy your heat. And what I mean by that is you can't piss on me and tell me it's raining. You can't get me with that shit. Because I don't listen to people's words. I listen to their actions. And no, everybody with common sense knows the defense is not wasting motions and wasting time on evidence that ain't damaging. They literally go after, because it's almost like, hey, what the hell? What can we lose? This evidence has us dead to rights. Ain't nothing we could do about it, but we can throw a Hail Mary. We could throw a Hail Mary pass and try to get it removed. So I don't give a fuck what TMZ saying. I don't give a fuck what the Shade Room saying. I don't give a fuck what none of them saying. Obviously, Diddy knows his evidence because he hiring a lawyer every fucking day. Why would you hire a lawyer every fucking day if you didn't think there was no case? Why would you even confuse your own defense team with hiring all these different lawyers every day if you think it's no evidence? Why are you trying to get Kid Cudi's testimony thrown out if you think you did such a great job and Cudi didn't? They won't have me on their show because I eat their ass alive, no Diddy. And they know it. And it will be straight facts. I don't just throw around stupid ass. Like Harvey had the nerve to say arson. This isn't arson. This is just a jealous boyfriend. So we should just let all the jealous boyfriends out of prison, huh? Or just Diddy gets away with that? That will be my next question. Because you don't get to just do dumb shit because you're a jealous boyfriend. We've all been there. You can be a jealous boyfriend, but if you do some bullshit, you're going to be a locked up jealous boyfriend. So, it's almost to the point where once I exposed them, it got worse because like everybody is noticing it. And I'm seeing like people who don't even necessarily follow me, but my videos have such reach. They are in the comments saying exactly what I said in my video about TMZ, which I know they got it from me, which I'm so proud of. I like that. Because once you put the mirror up to somebody like TMZ, all the public, y'all are smart. All y'all need is a little piece of what the hell going on, and y'all got it. And when I said TMZ had Harvey Levin has a podcast with Mark Garagos, who is the Tina Garagos' father, who Tinny Garagos is the lead attorney of the Diddy defense. Not only that, Mark Garagos is a longtime friend of Diddy, longtime attorney of Diddy that has done borderline shady things for Diddy and went on record as recent as 2 weeks ago with Harvey on the show saying that Diddy is a longtime friend and he shouldn't be left behind. I dropped all those tidbits and it caught on fire. Everybody said, I knew and could feel that TMZ was on some bullshit, but they couldn't put their finger on it until Flo put them facts out there. Like I said, I don't run up here with opinion. When I give you my opinion, it's my opinion. But when I'm talking about some serious shit or letting y'all know how foul somebody's being, oh, I'm coming with receipts every time. And then I let you decide. Do you think it's a conflict of interest to fucking have a podcast with the defense team? And now I'm supposed to believe that you're going to give me unbiased news? And it's like, once that train got going, they got to the point where they don't even care how foul they look. All of a sudden, ain't no case. All of a sudden, ain't no witness know what the hell they talking about. All of a sudden, we have Cassie saying that Diddy was going to blow up Kid Cudi's truck. Then his truck gets blown up. Cameras get removed from his home. All of this. And even that, they figure out a way to spin and act like that's nothing. But it's so much of a nothing burger that the defense is trying to get the victims, which with Cudi, trying to get his whole fucking testimony thrown out. A testimony where if you listen to Shade Room and all the rest of the people who met with Diddy's publicist in that cafeteria. See, luckily we have YouTubers on site, and I'll be on site soon. But luckily we have YouTubers on site. We would have never known that. Shout out to Tisa Tales. Everybody told me. I didn't hear it from Tisa Tales myself. I didn't see the show where she said it, but I've had numerous people reach out to me and DM me and tell me about Tisa Tales. Tisa Tales spilled that information about seeing for herself that Diddy's publicist was meeting with TMZ, Shade Room, and the Breakfast Club people. See, if we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have podcasts like this, we wouldn't have known that information, but it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. And let me be fair. Breakfast Club, Shade Room, all that, especially Breakfast Club, they are based out of New York. And I'm sure part of it is fear. Let's just be honest. They are in the middle of New York covering a case with somebody who is the biggest person in New York, damn near ever, and has been known to be violent and intimidate motherfuckers. I'm not making excuses for them, but I'm just saying it all makes sense. Because they had one tone when the case first started. But then once, I don't know when this switch came. I don't know when the wire hit. I don't know what was said, but all of a sudden, they went from talking about how much trouble Diddy's in to all of a sudden it's no case. And we hearing all type of what type of evidence do you want? Do you need evidence of Diddy on film laying out all the plan to all his workers or what they gonna do? Y'all need a 4K film of that. Is that what y'all think RICO evidence is? So let's get into this People Magazine article. People Magazine says Sean Diddy Combs' defense team asked for Kid Cudi's testimony about the Porsche exploding to be struck from the record. The person whose vehicle was literally destroyed and blown up, you want his testimony removed. As I say again, even though y'all try to act like Brian Steele was Johnny Cochran up there, which this motion shows he was not. Because if he did chew up Kid Cudi, you wouldn't want the shit removed. Come on, we got common sense. Sean Diddy Combs' defense team is asking for Cudi's testimony to be excluded. The car was set on fire by a Molotov cocktail in 2012, according to police reports. The police reports were actually obtained by Rolling Stone. And remember, we're gonna hear from the law enforcement guy, Jimenez. I do want to see what he has to say. Well, on May 22nd, the 9th day of Combs' ongoing sex trafficking trial, Scott Muscuddy, aka Kid Cudi, testified about how his Porsche got destroyed. Kid Cudi said that on the day of the explosion, he got a call from his dog sitter saying that his car was on fire. While on his way back home, he got a picture of the burnt vehicle from a friend. That friend was Chip the Ripper. If you know him, he's from Cleveland, where I'm from. That's one of my homies from back in the day. Shout out Chip the Ripper. Him and Cudi have been friends since way back early in his career. The rapper said his car was beyond repair by the time he got home, noting the top of my Porsche was cut open, and that's where they inserted the Molotov cocktail. The incident came after Cassandra Cassie Ventura and Cudi dated on and off again, while she and Combs also dated until 2018. She says, of course, Combs became jealous after he found out about Kid Cudi and her and threatened to have Cudi's car blown up. Now, what did Cudi testify about? Cudi testified that he believed the music mogul was lying when Diddy claimed that not to know what he was talking about when he asked him, hey, what happened with my car explosion? During a meeting at Soho House in Los Angeles with Ventura. So they met, Diddy, Cassie, and Kid Cudi. And Kid Cudi asked him to his face, what about my car? Cudi recalled allegedly asking Combs, to which the Bad Boy Records founder reportedly answered, I don't know what you're talking about. According to Kid Cudi, however, the two allegedly encountered each other again at the Soho House a few years later, during which Combs reportedly said he wanted to apologize for everything. Kid Cudi said he found peace with that and just went about his life. Now, Combs' defense is asking for his testimony. I don't know, guys, got pop-ups going on. They're asking for the testimony, of course, to be removed. What are their reasons? What reasons would you have to remove testimony from the actual victim who says their car was removed? They are claiming this is speculation. They're claiming all of Kid Cudi's testimony is speculation. That's the reason. What if somebody's not at the home? Somebody's not at the home when their car blown up, and they arrive on the scene. They getting pictures sent and all that. What the fuck would they have besides speculation? What evidence would they have if you went and removed their camera? So, according to the defense, if you go to someone's home, even though you said you were gonna blow it up, then someone goes to the home and removes his cameras, removes everything that he could have some type of source, a source to see what the hell happened. You remove all that, and now you want his testimony thrown out, talking about it's all speculation. So as long as you remove all the cameras and keep your hands from getting dirty, you don't have to go to jail, according to the defense. Just make sure nobody sees it. Make sure you remove all the cameras and you can go in somebody's house and do whatever the fuck you want, according to these people. Testimony, for the most part, if you are a victim of something that happened when you weren't around, it's gonna be speculation. That's why we're all here in the fucking court of law, because this is all speculation until somebody's held accountable or set free. If Kid Cudi's testimony wasn't speculation, then Diddy would be fried already for the most part, because they may have did something at the time. But now, when you're good at committing crimes and you're good at keeping your hands from getting dirty and you're good at all these things, well, that's why we have a thing called conspiracy. So yeah, congratulations. You didn't get your hands dirty. You had somebody else do it. You didn't talk on the phone. You didn't show up on camera. You did all that. But we got this little thing called conspiracy. So that way we can get people to say what the hell happened and point the finger at you. And enough people point the finger at you, your ass still got a case. So they're saying witness generally cannot testify that in his opinion. They are saying that in their opinion, Combs' defense claims that Kid Cudi's testimony was mere speculation and poses significant dangers of unfair prejudice against him. I understand the defense have a job to do, but they're getting annoying. According to the motions they're filing, we shouldn't even have court. We shouldn't even have court unless you got film or video of the person shooting the person. Ain't no case, according to this defense team. We should just throw the whole system out, and if you ain't got nobody caught red-handed, then why should they face any consequences, according to this defense? The man that got his car blown up, he wasn't there. Y'all fucking removed his cameras, and now you're saying his testimony should be thrown out because it's speculation. Sometimes I wish the lawyers had to do half the time. If they defend the person and they lose, they should have to do it like 10% of the time themselves, and then we see how quick they are to sign up for these cases. If they had to do 10% of the time that Diddy ended up receiving, would none of these lawyers be on this team? Because they're moving like they know this is the open and shut case, and they're gonna just keep throwing shit at the wall until something sticks. They talking about removing the fucking victim who had his car blown up when he wasn't there. What is he going to have besides speculation? Y'all removed his cameras. He wasn't there. What the fuck else? What you expect? You expect him to have DNA? What do you expect? And now they're talking about it's going to cause unfair prejudice. Saying that, and I quote, Kid Cudi's speculation about Combs' involvement had minimal value, whereas the danger of unfair prejudice, particularly since he was open about the ultimate issues as to which he was the alleged victim, whether Combs was guilty of arson, one of the charged racketeering acts, was great. They are trying anything. They don't even know what they're saying at this point. But one thing you can read in this statement, they know arson is one of the charged racketeering acts. Racketeering / RICO. And they know, like I said, on top of this, Capricorn Clark is going to get on the stand. And if she testifies being held at gunpoint and forced to be taken to the scene, which is kidnapping, which is another RICO act, This one incident could take Diddy down. And we still got 4 more weeks to go. Think about that. We could have 2 solid racketeering acts with 4 weeks to go. And the prosecution hasn't even put on their best evidence yet. No prosecution puts on their best evidence this early because we all know human nature. You're going to remember the last thing you heard. So imagine having at least 2, not to mention a possible 3. It's like spades. You got 2 in a possible. You got 2 kidnapping and arson with this kid Cudi blowing up shit, the truck. And then you have possible extortion with Cassie's mom. With the $20,000 when Diddy said, hey, you got to send me 20 grand or I'm putting out this freak off tape. You could have 2 and possible 3 in the bag already with 4 weeks to go, and you haven't even entered in your best evidence yet. And you got these fuckers talking about ain't no case. Well, what the hell we all here for? All of a sudden now the feds, who have a 92%, I believe, 92% conviction rate, all of a sudden now the feds just don't know what the hell they doing, according to Harvey and them. All of a sudden, they got a 92% conviction rate, but all of a sudden, they don't know shit. They done brought RICO charges, and they don't even know what RICO charges are. Again, I challenge you to ask anybody talking that shit. Well, explain to me, and this is how you stump them every time. I haven't got an answer yet. What makes R. Kelly's case RICO, but not Diddy's? Nobody has been able to answer that question yet. Every time I ask somebody that question, whether it's in the comments, whether it's in a DM, wherever, I haven't got an answer yet. You know why? Because it ain't no answer. R. Kelly's RICO makes Diddy's RICO, or I should say Diddy's RICO makes R. Kelly's RICO look like child's play. If Diddy's RICO is the NFL, we all love the NFL, right? We all love football. If Diddy's RICO is the NFL, R. Kelly's RICO is flag football on a Sunday night, on a Sunday evening with a bunch of has-beens and old farts like me playing. That's how much more of a RICO. Diddy has done 10 times as many acts that fall under a RICO than R. Kelly could have ever done. Yet and still, R. Kelly got 30 years in the same damn city, New York. Not too long ago. What was it, 2021? Thank you for the super sticker, Steph. Steph always look out for me. And I've been eating good food. Ever since y'all been giving me all these super stickers, I've been stepping up my eating a little bit. I've been spending a little more, getting a little bit better vittles. So thank you, Steph, for the super chat. But yeah, back to this RICO. If Diddy's RICO is Diddy's RICO would be filet mignon. If Diddy's RICO is filet mignon, R. Kelly's RICO was steakums. Y'all know steakums. Steakums ain't. I don't even know what the hell steakums made out of. It ain't no damn filet mignon though. I don't even think it's real meat. The bottom line is what I'm trying to paint to y'all is R. Kelly, his RICO was literally just because, and I'm not saying just because I'm just comparing it to Diddy's RICO. R. Kelly's RICO was because his team used his celebrity status to coerce females into engaging in sex acts and getting with R. Kelly. And another thing they did was they bribed people to keep people's mouths shut. And they also used their resources to get these girls and would intimidate people without even no acts, just intimidating by words. And just that alone got R. Kelly RICO. Now, fast forward to Diddy's RICO and what we've heard just in the first 2 weeks. And you're going to tell me R. Kelly's RICO, his was RICO, but Diddy's is no case? I smell bullshit, and I don't like it. Quit trying to feed me this trash about this ain't no case. Now, like I said, even though I think even the sex trafficking is apparent and obvious, what is this person saying? Someone said legal analysis have noted that the Diddy case does echo R. Kelly's in its novel application of RICO to a single individual who allegedly used their power and fame to commit and cover up crimes. Thank you for sharing that, Chef Diaz of Alex's Fresh Kitchen. I appreciate that, and yes, and let's talk about that too while we're on this subject. Thanks Angie for the super sticker. Angie is also so supportive. I appreciate you. Much love to you, Angie. Love you, love you, love you. Remember that song, Love to Love to Love Ya? But it's another stupid thing that people have been saying. And I just want to, some of this shit, I don't even be wanting to say because it's so obvious, but it ain't always obvious. So let me just say it out loud. Why is he the only one on this RICO? Diddy is the only one. They say it as if the feds don't know what they're doing. People say like, well, if it's a RICO, you can't have a RICO with one person. The feds don't know what they're doing. Like, so the feds done put this whole fucking case together, all this raids, all the raids, all of this, and they don't, and the feds, listen to this, y'all. The feds don't know that you can't have a RICO with one person. These video game playing, Cheeto eating motherfuckers sitting on their couch swear they know more than the feds. A bunch of people who have went to school for this shit, who try cases all day long. They think this, and then the judge, so many people got to sign off for this shit to get to court. This Cheeto eating video game motherfucker think they know more than all these people. And you think all of these people got together and the judge signed off on it and the prosecutor, everybody got together and didn't realize, oh, y'all, we forgot. This can't be a RICO because it's only one person. Good thing that person sit on the couch scratching his behind no more than us with his Twitter fingers on Instagram and in Flo's comment section saying dumb shit. Listen, he is the only one on this RICO because all his co-conspirators, which if you read the indictment, if you put the video game down and quit with your 40 and 50-year-old ass playing video games with my son, as I listen to him call y'all old heads, hurt my feelings when I heard my son call them old heads because I said, damn, if they old heads, what the hell am I? I was in the other room. That was the first time I heard my son talk like that. He was playing basketball. He was playing some video game basketball, and he was telling his friends, you know how they talk to everybody on these headphones. He said, hey, y'all got to D up on these old heads. They be passing, bro. I was cracking up. I said, damn, I'm an old head. Anyway, who do you think these co-conspirators are in the indictment if you read it? These co-conspirators, they would have been the co-defendants. But the minute the feds came to them and said, you either tell us everything you know, before they could finish that, they said, I'm telling you every fucking thing you know about Diddy. Diddy is an asshole and I ain't going down for him. That's how it went. See, the difference between this RICO and the RICO you may have seen where you got like 10 defendants. Let's say like the Young Thug trial. Perfect example, because a lot of people tuned in to the Young Thug trial. The Young Thug coverage I did was actually one of the most downloaded podcasts since we've been podcasting on the Flow Show No Filter every day at 7:30 a.m. But listen, Monday through Friday. This is a good example for everybody because most people followed the Young Thug trial. And it was a RICO, right? And they didn't have much, quote unquote, hardcore evidence on Young Thug, but you see, he took a plea deal. See, when you talk about conspiracy and RICO, it's just once people get together and say you did it, you got hell to pay. But anyway, these are street people who live by a street code. The street code is no snitching. And most of these people live in the streets and live in neighborhoods where if you caught snitching, that could be a death wish. Follow me. So when you have, let's say, 10 people involved in this RICO with Young Thug, let's say Young Thug would be comparable to Diddy. But Young Thug was surrounded by real criminals who lived by a code, most of them. We all know Woody ended up snitching, but he got away with it. But anyway, so when the feds came to them and said, either you tell us everything you need to know, or you're gonna be a co-defendant, guess what most of them said? Kiss my ass, feds. I ain't telling shit. I ain't no snitch. I'm taking it to trial. Remember, these are street guys, criminals. This is how they live. And they went to the next guy. And they said, hey, tell us everything you know about Young Thug and this criminal operation, and we'll let you let you go. And you're just gonna need to be a witness on the stand. They say, go to hell. I'm taking it to trial. Next thing you know, you got 10 co-defendants in a RICO. But see, Diddy wasn't dealing with street guys. These are regular, everyday working people. They are snitching on your ass before the feds could even finish asking the question. Same thing with R. Kelly. He didn't have a bunch of street people around him. He had real workers, real employees. They don't live by no street code and no snitches get stitches. As a matter of fact, what they're called is civilians. I'm giving y'all a little street knowledge today. When you're a civilian, that means you don't engage in criminal acts. That means you're just an everyday, regular, what we say, square. I'm a square. So ain't nobody talking shit about nobody. I'm a square. Happy to be a square. Fuck the criminal world. So a civilian is not looked at or expected to not snitch. So R. Kelly and Diddy surrounded themselves with average, everyday working people. So when the feds come or when law enforcement come, they are turning and flipping on you before you can say the word flip. As soon as the feds say, hey, tell us everything. I got it right here. They're already writing. Diddy did this, Diddy did that, Diddy did this. He got an itty bitty Diddy. His dick is the size of a Tootsie Roll. What else you need to know? He had a mohawk. It was kind of nappy back in the day. Flo calls a mohawk Diddy. He threw the chef out. He don't wash his hands after he used the bathroom. They telling everything. They're telling everything. This is how you get a RICO by yourself. Do criminal acts with a bunch of people who ain't criminals, who ain't living the street life, who are civilians with families, and you gonna have a RICO by yourself. But for those that we're talking about, why did he have a RICO? I mean, how did he have a RICO by himself? If you read the indictment paperwork, you'll know he wasn't by himself. He had things that people they call co-conspirators. And those co-conspirators signed what are called proffers, which means, hey, feds, I don't want to go down. I'm not doing a fucking no time for Diddy. What do you need to know? I'm telling you everything. Next thing you know, you out of the woods, and now you snitching and telling on Diddy. Now you looking around. Matter of fact, because I'm teaching today. See, y'all can send me some. Y'all need to send me some more super stickers or some more. Send me some Cash App or Apple Pay. Y'all see the Apple Pay information under the in this little orange box. But this is a good one today. A matter of fact, I would even go as far as to say, and somebody said, Sylvia said, I'm sick of this cocky motherfucker. Can't wait until he's given life. Go ahead, Sylvia. Sylvia, hey, look, Sylvia has a way with words. Look, see, is this what happens? I try to remain calm, and then it's like once I get turned up, my whole chat get turned up. You know, we all like on the same wavelength. So that's why I try to stay calm, because then the more animated and turned up I get, then it like y'all get pissed off too. And I feel like it's my fault. Cause that if that ain't a flow line right there, something about I'm sick of this cocky motherfucker. But anyway, let me get back on topic. I would go on to say, after the R. Kelly trial and then after this Diddy trial, if you in a RICO case and you by yourself, that's a bad fucking sign. It's not a good sign. It's actually a bad sign. Because yes, all the little video game playing, Cheeto eating, dollar menu buddies, they're right with you can't have a RICO with one person. Yeah, you're right. But if you got a RICO with one person, that means all your employees and everybody involved is telling on your ass. So if you see a RICO and there's only one person on that RICO, 10 times out of 10, his ass is grass. 10 out of 10 times his ass is grass. That means everybody telling on him. You done dug up Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi been in his own world for 15 years. Kid Cudi has a cult following. When people, just to put it out there, when people be talking about, I didn't even know Cudi still rapped. Ha ha ha. He broke. I think he's broke trying to shit on Diddy. No, Cudi is very good, very well off, and Cudi has a cult following. Like I said, I feel like he has very supportive group, and he doesn't need to be running around in the limelight and running around and being seen. His fans take care of him, and they love the shit out of Cudi. If you don't know that, next time you see Cudi, because he still performs, next time he perform, check out the footage. You go, hey, look, you'll know that. You better not go, if whatever shit you talking about Cudi, you better not take your ass in that concert and say it. Hey, Cudi's fans will tear your ass from limb to limb. They love Cudi. So in this world, if you ain't running around trying to be seen and being toxic and trying to be in the news every day, they think you ain't popping. Well, I just wanted to clear the air on that for people that don't know. Just because Cudi ain't in the mainstream world no more, Cudi has millions of fans who love. If Cudi breathe online, it's the best. They feel it's the best breath they ever saw or heard of. So let me put that to bed about Cudi needing anything. Cudi don't even care about the limelight no more. Cudi could just perform and make music for his core fans, and he a millionaire the rest of his life. Let's just be clear. He didn't need anything. He just stood up there, and I believe he represented for his dog. because I don't know what the hell Diddy did to that dog. But Mr. Baby Oil Astroglide Diddler, who knows? I don't even want to think about it. People keep asking me what I think he did to the dog. I'm not even saying, I don't even want to say that. I don't know. I will say I don't know what the hell he did to that dog. I know he didn't pick up the dog and gently put him in the bathroom and gently lock the door. I know he didn't do that. So a lot of emotions. Steph says people have so much hate for those who are successful and self-made. They sure do. They need to see you on mainstream, trying to be seen, trying to be heard. That's how they recognize fame or fortune or success. But if you have to do a little digging to know how lit somebody is, or you have to do a little research that may take about 2-3 minutes, oh, they don't got time for that. They don't got time for that. Shit, Kid Cudi is. I would love to be in. If this flow community we can build this to just half of the community that Kid Cudi has. I'll be happy as hell. That, and we got a big community, and we tearing shit up online. We at 1 million to 2 million viewers every day, y'all. Viewing flow content. Our little mighty community. So imagine Cudi. While people talking about he broke or he this or he that. Shit. We all should be that broke. We all should have that kind of community. I mean, it is amazing. Shout out to him. I feel proud because we both went to the same high school. Like I told you, when Kid Cudi first blew up, he invited me. I was with Chip at the time, and they invited me to the House of Blues. And for me to see that star power up close and personal, it was amazing. So what we got to look forward to today, I am excited. Cash is excited. He's just so excited right now. He just fucking passed out. He's so excited he can't even wake up. We getting our trip together. I'm so excited about to see what the hell Capricorn Clark is gonna say today. I'm gonna be honest. Those law enforcement, I know they got to do their job, and I know they are like very important to the case, but the law enforcement, when they get on the stand, it's just boring. But I understand that they have information, and we need all the information. But I'm just being honest. I'm always honest with y'all. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm excited about every fucking thing, because that would be phony. And I don't have a phony bone in my body. I'm one of the few people that will tell you I'm excited about Capricorn Clark. And the fucking law enforcement, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a snooze fest. But I'm going to tune in anyway because it's my job. And I'm going to bring y'all the facts. Now, I say all that, and then who knows? The fucking law enforcement guy could be explosive. I don't know. I'm just being honest about what I'm excited about. But if they are able to get to the chef today, if they can do Capricorn Clark, and then we got to get through the snooze fest with the law enforcement guy. I don't know what the hell he going to say. But after him, if they can get to the chef today too, oh my God, this would be a fucking horrible day for Diddy. And we all would like that, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so we got the law enforcement guy. Let me do some last minute checking for you guys to see if anything has hit the wire concerning the case right now. Before we get out of here. Let me look it up right now. My trusty phone. See if anything, because sometimes right when I get off, they like break some new news for the morning. I'll be like, damn, I would have liked to touched on that. No Diddy. I know 50 Cent been trolling the hell out of Diddy. But let's see what they're saying. Third week. Okay, so let's say live update. This is from Eyewitness News. Third week of the trial of Sean Diddy Combs will resume today. Witness testimony set to continue when court resumes. The prosecutors plan to call Capricorn Clark and representatives from Los Angeles Fire and Police Department. So maybe they're calling more than one person. From what I read, it was a guy named Jimenez or something like Jimenez or Jimenez. But and everybody on YouTube, Ticket TV has an interview with the Dexter Pittman, who is the guy who claims that Farnsworth Bentley and Diddy drugged him and some of the youngins, which were, when we say youngins, we mean under the age of 18 and far under the age of 18. Ticket TV actually interviewed. Did y'all know the guy's a white guy? I did not know the guy was a white guy. I just thought that, I don't know why. I just assumed he was a black guy. But I didn't get a chance to watch the interview, but I think I think it's gonna be it should be a lot of explosive information in there. So I would encourage y'all, or even Apple and Spotify, if you go to YouTube, go to Ticket TV. I told you that's Ticket TV and Tisa Tales are pretty much the only other two people covering this that I engage and watch and believe in. So check out Ticket TV, who actually has an interview with the guy who, because we all got questions about why would the guy bring those young girls around Diddy and Farnsworth Bentley. And if you watch the episode, remember they were allegedly drugged and sexually assaulted and all that. Like I said, Ticket TV actually interviewed Mr. Pittman. I think y'all should go check it out. I was quite surprised that he was a white man. I don't know. I just assumed it was in Atlanta. I just assumed he was black, which doesn't matter, black or white. But I just thought that was interesting, and I'm interested to watch the interview after. If I have some time today, I'm gonna watch it. But I don't know. Today I got to do a lot of planning. I'm trying to figure this New York shit out and all of that. So I might not have time today, but I would encourage y'all to go ahead and watch it out. People are even saying Oprah could get drugged into this. I don't know. That could be fake news. But this is what they're saying about Capricorn Clark. They're saying she is the longest employee who rose to ranks with Diddy. So outside of Cassie, they believe that Capricorn Clark is going to be one of the biggest damaging as far as eyewitness or witness close to the camp. She actually witnessed, guess what else she witnessed? Capricorn Clark witnessed the $20,000 extortion shit. I didn't even realize that. She also witnessed violence. An incident in 2010 at a dinner in West Hollywood. And at the dinner, this is where Diddy punched Cassie in front of other guests. Remember Don Richards or Don Richard, I don't know which one it is, but Dawn said she saw that and said Usher, Neo, Big Daddy Kane was there for some reason. Shout out to Big Daddy Kane for still being around. Big Daddy Kane, Neo, and I believe, did she say Jimmy Iovine? I know somebody from Interscope was there. I don't have the story in front of me right now. But Capricorn Clark was there. Harv Pierre, Bad Boy Records president, was there. And if he gets on the stand and start snitching and flipping on Diddy, that's going to be another damning. That's what I say, y'all. For them to be, what I'm interested in, and let me tell y'all this right now, because y'all know I like to predict a lot of shit. This case is going to get worse and worse and worse for Diddy as we go. It's like it says, like a pair of vice grips. The tighter you turn it, the tighter it gets, and it don't loosen up. I am so interested to see as this gets worse and worse to the point where you're going to look stupid as hell trying to act like ain't no case going. I want to see how they're going to try to spin it going forward. Because if people like Harv Pierre get on, because I'm telling you now, Capricorn Clark is going to name a lot more names. Remember, I told you every time somebody gets on the witness stand and names other names, you can bet your bottom dollar that that person may show up on the witness stand for the most part, 99% chance. So if Harv Pierre, which he has been knee deep in all of this Diddy stuff from the beginning, if he gets on that stand and has to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help him God, it's a wrap. Remember that situation everybody is around. Dawn said Diddy punched Cassie in the stomach in front of big execs, celebrities, and all kind of men. And I'm using men in quote because any man who sat around and let Diddy punch Cassie in the stomach and didn't do anything about it, didn't say anything, you ain't no man. Now, if Clark successfully corroborates even this punching of the stomach story on top of everything else she knows, Diddy gonna be fucked up, even though he's already messed up. But like I said, I am excited and you should be too. Of course, you know I'm gonna have an update today. I have an update soon as it happens. Let's see what we got in here. We got in the chat. Harv Pierre. They talking about Harv Pierre. Yeah, millenniums are old heads now. Like, damn. Like my son called it when he called. They called them old heads. I said, damn. Well, what the fuck am I? If they old heads. But welcome in everybody who came in here. This is going to be an explosive day. Yeah, somebody said, notice Diddy's white workers all quit fast. Yeah, they got the hell out of there. They got the hell out of there. Somebody said that in the chat. Me too. Big square, and I love it. Yeah, people say the same thing. I'm telling y'all, tune in. I may have to even bring, it depends. If Capricorn Clark, if her testimony is as explosive as I think it's gonna be, my update, my daily update may come earlier than 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock today. It may come at about 2 or 3 because I'm gonna have to update right after. I'm gonna have to update the I'm gonna have to update the trial. Like I can't wait till 7 o'clock because I'm pretty sure. Because let me tell you, I got some background on Capricorn Clark. I don't want to reveal too much to after her testimony. But when I tell y'all I am like connected in a lot of this shit just by chance, I have a friend, an industry friend, who's actually, that's his family. So I've got a lot of background on Capricorn Clark. Actually, it's I'm just gonna say his family. I don't want to put too much information out there and have him all pissed at me. But anyway, and he told me Capricorn Clark ain't no joke. Meaning like she's very tough, feisty. And so who knows once she get on that stand. And the one thing I can say about a female versus a male, we can be a lot like even Cudi, we tend to be a lot more calculated a little bit and thinking a lot what we say, and more or less like females will get up there and tell you all the fucking details. Just like Cassie did. Because that's how females tend to communicate. Us guys, we just gonna say, hey, how was last night? A guy to guy, we just be like, oh, last night was nice. Or I liked it. And that's about the extent of what we'll say. Women, you ask those how was last night, they're going to tell you how the music was, how the food was, what they didn't like, what smells they smelled. That's just different ways we communicate. And I'm saying that to say, with me knowing that Capricorn Clark ain't no joke, and I know this from her family member, who this family member I've known a long time. This is a good person. I got a lot of faith in whatever they tell me. And the funny thing was, I told them that I believe Capricorn Clark was going to testify before they even knew Capricorn Clark was testifying, and they are family. But that's what made him, we talk about all this stuff anyway, but he called me like, that's my cousin. You saying my cousin gonna testify? I said, I think so. And damn it, was Mr. Told You So right again. I know more than the damn family members know. I let the family members know that they who's testifying. But anyway, he told me she ain't no joke. She come from a tough family, and she is very feisty. I'll just say it like that. So with that information and knowing what she was around for 11 years, and she has even dropped little subliminal tweets and stuff when all this was going on. I read them to y'all. I'm not going to read them again, but basically the gist of them was she was saying things about how they will skin you, baby girl, and then forget that they actually act like they never wanted to skin. And she even had something that was eerie when she said something about unlocked doors, something, something, something. And and to me, it might have been pertaining to Kid Cudi's door being unlocked. She said something about unlocked doors will do something. I don't know, man. I don't have it in front of me, but and then she said something else, which made me tell y'all the story about how I think Diddy made Cassie and her do things, because she said, and she made an emphatic statement saying that Kim Porter was the only one who didn't switch up. I thought that was telling, because Capricorn Clark and Cassie were pretty cool, or real cool at this time. And for her to, after the fact, for Capricorn Clark to say Kim Porter, which was Diddy's ex and the mother of his children, for them to say Kim Porter, for her to say Kim Porter is the only one who never switched up, to me, that was a bold statement. That was literally to let people know everybody switched up and she not taking nobody off the list. She said everybody was basically coddling to the devil. But when she was dropping these tweets, she still was under an NDA. And by her being under that NDA, she couldn't say much. And she still was, I'm sure, towing the line of that NDA by even saying what she said. Now, why am I saying all that? Because in my mind, if she was willing to go that hard, speaking about women and black women and the treatment, and knowing she was under an NDA and couldn't say much, but she said a lot. If she was willing to do that at that time, and I think this was maybe a couple years ago or something. It wasn't recent, but it was a little while ago. If she was willing to do all of that then under an NDA without even no type of protection, can y'all imagine what she gonna say on this trial, on this stand today? She gets this. Diddy beat the crap out of her. So much so that Diddy and Interscope had to stroke a check, because the wolves was going to be on Diddy's ass, because Capricorn Clark come from a real ass family in a real ass neighborhood. And without me saying too much, they was about to eat Diddy's ass, no Diddy. They was about to tear him up. And Diddy paid out a large sum of money. But think about it. I don't care how much money, and that money probably gone, or who cares about the money? When you get to go on the stand and potentially sink somebody who you've despised, who treated you like crap, who beat the hell out of you, I believe Capricorn Clark gonna bring it. I believe Capricorn Clark is going to set the court on fire today. I believe she's going to lay out the plan. I think she even going to implicate Cassie more in what more Cassie may have told besides the address. Did Cassie tell where the cameras were? by Diddy's direction. Was it all a plot? See, Capricorn Clark knows. You got to remember, Capricorn Clark was with Diddy from like 2001 to like 2011. You remember, a lot of that, half of that was the Mohawk Diddy era. And like I always say, you should never gave Diddy a Mohawk. But think about, she knows where Mohawk Diddy's bones are buried, where he buried somebody's. She was around for a decade as one of his most trusted assistants. Not only do I believe she's gonna sink his ass and talk about the Cudi stuff and talk about different instances with Cassie, but I believe she's gonna share more stuff that happened to her that we don't even know about. Because somebody like Diddy, if he beat the hell out of Capricorn Clark when he found out about about Kid Cudi, then old Tootsie Roll Diddy, you can guarantee he put his hands on her before, whether it was a straight beating or whether it was just grabbing her, berating her. I'm sure there were many other instances like that in a 10-year period. Tootsie Roll Diddy, the itty bitty Tootsie Roll that could. He has laid out every stereotype that you can imagine. Diddy has brought truth to it. He's running around, rage in the world, mad at the world. He could be mad at the world because he itty bitty Diddy. Itty bitty Diddy with the little Tootsie Roll. He could be mad at the world because of that. Very insecure man you're looking at. Very extremely insecure. And these are things I heard about him before I knew all the wild shit. Even his friends, who we think is friends in the industry, they all told me how insecure Diddy was. That was known when I was in the industry running around. This is when I didn't even know about all this wild, crazy, freaky shit. And at Mr. Astroglide, Mr. Baby Oil himself, I didn't know a lot of this stuff, but I did know his peers would tell me how insecure he was. For example, this is a small little thing, but it's just some bring context. When him and Keisha Cole were on fire with that song Last Night, and I don't know, you could probably pull up the performance, but they performed, I believe it was on BET. And this was the height of that song, Last Night. I couldn't even get a message. I couldn't even get no answer, whatever the hell he said. Him and Keisha Cole. So when they performed at the end, I believe they were both on these platforms. Like Diddy was on one, and I believe either Keisha was on one or she was on the ground. I can't remember. But the whole point of the story is, at the end of the song, they like lifted up. And instead of both of the platforms lifting up to the same level, Diddy had to have his platform. He had to instruct them to lift him all the way up to the fucking ceiling while Keisha Cole down low. Even though Keisha Cole was the star of that song, Keisha Cole was the reason that song was a hit. But itty bitty Diddy is so insecure that he had to make sure that they lifted his ass to the moon. And if you just watching it and you don't know like the context of people behind the scenes telling you how insecure Diddy is and how he made sure to tell BET to lift his shit up higher than Keisha Cole, if you just watching it, you'll think like, oh, that's just how it happened. But I was around his peers who would remain nameless because I don't want to get nobody in trouble. I ain't worried about me getting in trouble. You know, I don't give a fuck. But when I'm talking about shit other people told me, unless they want me to say their name, I'm not gonna say their name. I don't do people like that. Y'all, the story is enough information. So at the end of the performance, It was at the end of the, like, the little grand finale. They got the Keisha Cole's on one thing and Diddy's on another, and like they lift up Keisha Cole like maybe 3 feet, and then Diddy's platform thing goes up like 50 feet. It was just like I said. We about to get out of here, y'all. Let me thank the subscribers before we get out of here real quick. And look forward for my update today. I got a serious feeling that Capricorn Clark is gonna bring the house down. Let me thank Kip for the $3 donation, Angie B for the $3, I should say $3 subscription. The subscribers is what make this whole thing shake. Thank Kip, thank Angie B, thank Bree Shannon, all for $3 donations. You all are an awesome bunch for subscribing to the podcast and keeping it going, keeping the lights on, and keeping truth alive. The only way truth gonna stay alive is if we continue to subscribe and support our own podcast. Not just me, any other podcasts or YouTubers that you like and are giving you the truth. Let's make sure we support them because it means a lot. As always, much love to everybody in the building. Angie, thank you for the super sticker again. Steph, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for all the lovely messages. Y'all love me more than sometimes I feel like I love myself, and I ain't saying that in a bad way. I love me, but y'all really are awesome. Shout out to Toby. Toby always, if I forget Toby's shout out, he always saying it somewhere in the comments. Where's my shout out? That's my boy, show me. Monet, Joanne, Chris G, Just the Facts, Gina, Yari, what's up, Beverly? Kelly, y'all hear Cash in the background trying to talk low? This mic pick up everything, bruh. Chef, Desi. Go ahead and talk, Cash. We all listen to your conversation. Nola. Ray, I'm just trying to make sure I shout out my people before I get out of here. Teresa, Heather, okay. Hey, look, see, this is why I like to go through because I don't care. I'll take an extra time to shout out all my people who support and give donations. I just missed one. It was who was that? Oh, Heather. Heather gave me Heather gave me some lunch money. Let me see if I can see it. Heather, hey, somebody, hey, Flo Daddy. Hey, Heather, thank you for the $9.99 super sticker. It goes to making sure Flo eat right so I can continue to be healthy and be here for a long time and continue to give y'all the news. I'm making sure I didn't miss anybody else that gave me any donations. Hey, Sylvia, Shay Walk, Jeanne, missed y'all over the weekend, but y'all know I did do a special holiday episode. Hopefully y'all tuned in to that. Other than that, we about to get up out of here. I don't think I missed nobody on the super stickers or anything. Much love to everybody. See y'all tomorrow, same time, 7:30. If you want to subscribe, the link is in the notes, in the show notes on your phone. It's all good, C-Tuck, and or in the Facebook chat. Much love to y'all. I'm out. I love y'all, but I'm out.